Everybody's making this huge deal about Donald Trump, okay, and his hand being bruised, okay? So doctors have already talked about this across the board, but there's a lot of doctors that have said a lot of things. This is due to increased handshakes. It is on his right hand. He handshakes people all the time. Also, he plays golf a lot, and he's also old, and they bruise easily when you get older across the board. But what's made me sick is all the people that have said, hey, can any doctors tell me how long he has left? Like that is, no, I'm serious. That's what people are saying across the board is how long does he have left from a bruise on his dang hand? Also, this could be from IV treatments. He does more, goes longer, and works longer hours than all of us combined. He probably is getting some B12 and stuff like that infused in IV treatments and stuff. So, you know, that's all I'm saying. I have shook the president's hand multiple times. He don't sissy shake. He like shakes for real. So maybe there really is a thing because you do feel it's a weird moment when you shake the president's hand and he's like squeezing a little harder than you think he should. So you like, you know, you go to match it a little bit at the same time. And so, you know, maybe he's got that going on. But the biggest thing is, of all the things, this is what we're obsessing over is a freaking bruise on the president's hand.
And boy, did they.
The left is losing their mind over this.
They really did.
They're like, he's medically unfit. He's going to die. He's got this and that. He's freaking old, man. And he works more hours than all of us combined across the board. I wouldn't be, and even if it turns out that this is from constant IV needles, for like hydration and stuff like that, like while he's on Air Force One and stuff. Who cares? Freaking athletes do that all the time. Yeah. What are you talking about? I don't understand what the issue is. And so anyway, I've seen that.
You pull an IV needle over somebody that's in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, it's an instant bruise. And I mean a massive one. So, dude, like, I saw everything y'all did. From sissy girl pants to Alex Cole to the crazy heifer from New Jersey. Like, oh, my God, man. It was like a pit bull with the pink thing hanging out. They wouldn't let it go.
If you feel blessed to have a rock star like Donald Trump as your president, let's get some American flags blowing up in the chat. All right, let's run through this cabinet meeting. There's a lot of good stuff on here. Todd, I'm just going to let you roll through it, man. Let's go.
All right, so if you kill somebody in D.C., we will kill you back.
Anybody murders something in the Capitol, capital punishment, capital punishment. If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that's a very strong preventative.
First of all, I love Trump. It's the capital punishment. You know, it makes most sense. I also want to point out his tie selection today. This is the somber tie. This is the all business tie. This is the I'm about to piss everybody in this room off tie. What do you think? Do you think if you commit murder in the Capitol, the U.S. Capitol, you should get the death penalty?
I think if you commit murder in the United States,
you should get the death penalty.
They should kill you back.
I'm an eye for an eye kind of guy.
100%.
If it's premeditated murder, absolutely.
And I'd take it a step further. I think if you kill somebody, they should kill you back in which way you killed that person. Like,
okay, well, yes, but that's what I'm saying. If it's premeditated, I'm not talking about manslaughter or things like that. But if you legit like roll up on somebody and you pull out that gat and all that stuff and, you know, turn side.
Turn side.
Tony knows all about that. The kill shot. That's the kill shot. The kill shot. Tony knows all about it.
That's the second comment today. You're attacking me there, Graham.
What do you call him? Vatos? What do you call him? Y'all pissed me off a minute
Graham
ago.
Is on a roll now.
I'm going I'm going full racist here. All right, let's go. Next
one. The cost of medicine all over the world is much cheaper than the United States. Now, this is a longer clip, so tell me when to kill it.
Just
the cost of medicine all over the world is much cheaper than the United States because for years the world pushed us around, including our friends. And you go to Germany, you go to England, you go to different places, and you go to a store, and it's sometimes 10% of what we pay in the United States because they said, nope, we're not paying any more.
Because of insurance companies.
Charge the United States. This went on for 25, 30 years. And I invoked favored nations. I said, I want to pay the same as they're paying. And Bobby Kennedy is doing a good job, and Dr. Oz is doing a good job. And I asked them, I mean, other than the basics that they're doing on autism and other things, which we got to solve that problem because it's crazy what's happening, it's out of hand. But this is the most important thing that can be done is favored nations, Bobby. And we're not talking about a 25% cut or 50. We're talking about a 1,500% cut because people
Pause.
go to.
All right. You heard it right there. The president wants to do a 1,500% cut on medications. This shows you how insane big pharmacy has become. When you operate in a system that makes money not from you becoming well, but by keeping you well enough and dependent, you have corruption. Even the ability to cut something 1,500% shows you how absolutely insane it is. Tony, we all are dependent, all three of us are dependent on medication in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But Tony, you specifically, like, what does this mean to somebody like you when you hear something like that?
I hope they do, because not only for me, I have been dealing with all of my mom's stuff. You guys know this. My mom's, she's got cancer and all that stuff. So I was dealing with her insurance company the other day, and I was trying to get her a medication that her doctor prescribed, but the insurance was denying it. And they said, we're going to look into it. We're going to, we're going to try to run it through the insurance. But if you don't, you can just pay out of pocket if you like. Out of pocket price would be $2,300 a pill. A pill. I was like, what? I was like, are you kidding me? What are we? I was like, no. I said, you are insane. That's insane. A pill, $2,300 a pill.
I had a friend who has been on a medication, and it's a controlled medication. And his insurance, it was $0 with insurance. And then literally last month he goes and insurance decides they don't want to pay for it anymore. It's $2,000 for a month. He can't do it. He has to go through detox and withdrawal because he wasn't able to afford it. Like, that is what these blood sucking vampires are able to do to us. Somebody just put an inhaler in there. So everybody knows I got asthma from the burn pits in Iraq. I always have my rescue inhaler on me right here. All right. I always have it. But I also have a daily thing that's supposed to prevent and help to where I don't need the rescue. That medication is $800 a month. $800 a month through insurance. But if you good RX it, and literally say, no, I got a coupon, it's $80, which is still too much.
Right.
But the point is, if I want to go get an MRI done, if I were to put it through insurance, it'd be like $3,000. Okay. Yep. If you tell them your self-pay, it's $150. Explain it. Explain it to me.
That happened to me too with my insulin. If I ran it through insurance, I had to pay the copay of $99. But if I ran it without the insurance, just with the good RX card, it was $35.
Bro,
Made no sense whatsoever.
You got a better shot at explaining string theory to me than you do healthcare, medications, and health insurance.
Well, and I keep seeing a lot of people in the chat. They're like, you can't take 1,500% off. That's not how math works. You've never dealt with the VA math for a VA disability rating, have you?
No
Don't
kidding.
tell me that ain't how the math works.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they're going after big pharma with the FDA and all that. I hope they go after insurance companies in general. The car insurance. Dude, it makes sense to me that every year you have to pay into something that you don't use, but then when you do use it, it jacks up your rates anytime you use it. And it makes absolutely no sense.
Like,
You're never getting that money back.
You guys get screwed because I have seen, because I don't have VA health insurance. I have retired TRICARE, and I have seen the bills that the hospital sends TRICARE, and they go, we're not paying that. Here's $30. Deal with it.
I love how Todd gets away with this every time. I say something like, I pay for somebody to cut my grass now, and everybody jumps on me. Oh, Graham's so bougie and all this other stuff. Every time it comes to anything medical, Todd always says, I mean, this doesn't apply to me. Like, I don't have to
doesn't.
deal with this.
It
Like,
doesn't.
just so you know, I get it all for free. Now, let's talk about your crappy
Well,
situation.
I don't get it for
and
free.
nobody
I don't
says
get it for
nothing
free.
ever.
I don't get it for free. I have a copay.
Who
I have to
doesn't
pay
know
for it.
at this point in the chat? Who doesn't know Todd is 100% a
But
VA
I will
disabled
say this.
veteran?
I will say this and make this make sense. Okay, so I replaced 6 medications that I was having to take daily about 2 months ago with one thing that my insurance doesn't cover, and it's still cheaper. So, like, make that make sense.
Somebody said I don't have bougie tight pants like Todd.
That's probably true.
All right. Well, we got to get back to the cabinet meeting. This is fun, but let's go. We got a lot of
All
stuff
right.
to do.
So, the Secretary for Veteran Affairs, I ask you what I don't know. I can't make that sentence make sense. But anyway, here we go. Come on. There we go.
Oh boy, there we go. All right.
Had a little problem there for a second.
President, I feel like, as everybody here has talked about how great working with this team is and all, but I do feel a special need that you've given me the privilege of working with the best of America. I get to take care of the veterans. I get to take care of the veterans who Labor Day really finds its roots in, if you think about it. We wouldn't have Labor Day if it wasn't for men and women who would leave their jobs and go fight this nation's battles to keep us free and independent so that they would have jobs to come home to. And over the past few years, they've been coming home to many times a government that was keeping them back, holding them back, taxing them, regulating them. And now we have veterans who represent the bill, the big, beautiful bill, they're the beneficiaries of. And I get to see them all the time because they're receiving the benefit because they see the jobs, they see the care that they're being given. And these veterans can look at their country with pride, knowing that we're taking care of them, just like you told me to do. When your only statement you said to me, I asked you what to do, you said, go take care of my veterans. Well,
Pause. And I
love
will
it.
say that I can do a testament to it.
Yep.
I just put in a new VA claim for something, and I put it in on July 26th. Yesterday, that claim was decided on. I got a new rating within 30 days. I mean,
Nice.
it's crazy.
It's awesome, man. Congratulations. Congratulations.
It's crazy what Doug Collins is doing at the VA.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing some amazing things. So can we get some American flags, not only for our veterans, like Todd, but also for Secretary
Graham.
Collins.
And Graham.
Just in case you guys didn't know, Todd's a veteran. Just in case. Just in case you guys didn't know, veteran Hot Seat Todd is on the show. Just in case you guys were unaware, Todd's a veteran.
Hey, Graham, I have a question for you because you were there.
Did Todd serve in the military?
Yes, was Todd a veteran?
It's possible.
No, but seriously though, who decides? This is off the topic a little bit because I was just looking at them sitting there. Who decides who sits where? Is that like the chief of staff kind of thing? Because I saw Pete sit next to him this time, and last time Marco was there or JD was there.
Normally, if the vice president's there, obviously the vice president is right next to him, and then Secretary of State. If the vice president's not there, then it's Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense, like on the left and the right. And then it goes AG, Vet Affair, like things like that. Normally, if the president is there and the vice president is there, you're going to have the vice president and the Secretary of State right next to him. If the vice president's not there, then you're going to have Rubio and then Pete on the other side.
Gotcha.
Normally, Trump can do whatever he wants. I'm just saying,
Right.
normally, that's kind of how it works. Let's go ahead and jump to JD Vance on public safety. Let's jump through that. Let's see. Yeah, you found it, Todd.
I'm looking for
It's three. It's three from where you were at. It's
No, that's the big, beautiful bill. All right, here
it's
we
the
go.
next one.
Got it.
Yep. All right, here we go. This is the future president of the United States, JD Vance.
I
Here
can't
we go.
wait. Starting to get a little man crush on Hillbilly Elegy.
I want to congratulate you and the entire team on
Oh,
all
see,
the
he's
things
got
that have been
JD sitting across
accomplished. You'll
from him.
hear about a lot of it. You've already heard some of it, but I thought it would be helpful, Mr. President, just to take stock not just of what we've accomplished, what we will accomplish, but of the mess that we inherited, because I think it makes this first Labor Day a bigger and more special occasion. You heard, I think, Christie talk about this, that all of the net job growth under the Biden administration had gone to the foreign-born. Now that net job growth is going to American citizens who deserve opportunity in their own country. That's a great accomplishment. You'll hear, I'm sure, Scott talk about the success with tariffs. People forget that we inherited the largest peacetime deficit in the history of the United States of America. And now, because the president is not letting foreign countries take advantage of us, we're collecting hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars over 10 years in tariffs from countries and companies that were formerly taking advantage of the American people. You heard Pam talk about the public safety and the success that we've had there. I happen to believe that maybe the most sacred thing that we can deliver to American workers is the ability to live safely and comfortably in their own neighborhoods. Public safety is not just something that should belong to the wealthy. It should belong to every working man and woman in the United States of America. And because of the work of this administration, that is happening. And of course, Mr. President, you yourself talked about the inflation mess that we inherited under the Biden administration. Maybe the most striking and even shocking statistic of the Biden administration is that housing costs have gone up by 100% over the 4 years of the Biden administration, literally doubled, making the American dream of homeownership unaffordable. We've made great strides and great progress already. But to the American people who are listening, there's a lot more to do. We're going to keep on working hard at it, but it's an honor to do this job under the president's leadership and with this very great team that you've assembled. So we've done a lot, but there's a lot more work to do, and we're very
Yeah.
Okay, they're doing a great job. I also want to say that JD's graying out, and by the time he runs, he's going to have a legit gray beard, and he's going to look like freaking, like back in like Ulysses S. Grant or something like that by the time it's over with, you know? Anyway, future president of the United States, JD Vance. All right, I want to jump to the end of this, Todd, where it says the longest ever meeting, and then we're going to get into Bassett on tariffs. I just want to bring out, sometimes I think it's important to remind us where we've been and where we are now. President Biden couldn't hold a 5-minute like conversation, much less he could not have the longest the longest cabinet meeting ever. Play it.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, everybody.
Wrapping so soon, Mr. President? I got him at 3 hours and 16 minutes from the cabinet room at the White House. The President of the United States patting the Secretary of Defense on the back as he walks away from the table. There's Howard Lutnick. They all got a chance to speak as they went around the room. I would
Pause.
say two main...
Go back. Go to the slap. That's why his hand's bruised. Go back. Go back. You can just go, Todd. Go right there. All right, watch. He slaps the crap out of Pete right here. Watch.
Dude.
Hold on, watch. Wait for the turn and right.
The White House, the President of the United States.
That's why his
Dude,
hand's
that is
bruised.
such a grandpa thing to do. Jessica's grandpa used to do that to me all the time. Every time I went golfing with him, he's like, "Hey, young fellow." I was like,
I'm
"Ow,
telling you, dude. That's why his hand's bruised. There you go. Clip that together, editing team. When we're talking about the bruised hands, there you go. He slaps the crap out of the Secretary of Defense.
There you
That's
go.
why
That's
he's got
why.
a bruised hand.
Makes
All
perfect
right.
sense.
Scott Bassett had this to say on tariffs, and I think this is a very big thing to end the show on, which is everybody knows I'm very anti-IRS. I hate them. I think that taxation is theft in every sense of the word. But here is a big thing from Scott Bassett. Listen to this.
I had been saying was running at a rate of $300 billion a year. You chastise me for saying that it's not, that number is too low. And as usual, you're right, that we had a substantial jump from July to August. And I think we're going to see a bigger jump from August to September. So I think we could be on our way well over $500 billion, maybe be it towards the $1 trillion number. This administration, your administration, has made a
Pause.
meaning.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Huge.
he said that we're definitely getting $500 billion, but we could be on our way to $1 trillion. If you guys can remember way back when we first started the tariffs thing, we said, how do you eliminate the IRS? They bring in $2 trillion a year from taxes. Okay. The only way for you to do the 150,000 single, no federal tax, 300,000 married, filing jointly, no income tax, and the establishment of the ERS is to bring in $1 trillion. That is the magic number. If Donald Trump can bring in half of the revenue that America brings in through tariffs, that establishes the ERS, and that leads you to that $150,000 single, no federal taxes, $300,000 married, filing joint, no federal taxes. And it gets us ever closer to the abolishing of the IRS. If you believe that that should be done, comment yes or no in the comment section right here. But here's the thing. Donald Trump is doing it. Again, Donald Trump is doing what he said he was going to do, and he's doing it the way that it has to be done for it to actually be accomplished. It's happening faster than I thought. I would not have imagined that we would be at minimum $500 billion in tariff revenue projected already. And so they're projecting that for the start of the next quarter, which is October, I believe. But still, by October, not even a year in to when he took over as president in January. So by that point, we will have been 9 months into the presidency, and we're at a minimum going to intake $500 billion in tariff revenue. That just shows you how much they were bending us over for so many years and trying to make up the deficit through the American people and through your paychecks. This is the way. This is the way, and this is how you get rid of it, and this is how you fix it. But the biggest thing is everybody said, well, the money's got to be made up somewhere.
There you go.
This is how you do it. And we're well on our way.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what I will say is that do y'all understand, can y'all grasp the reality of what is going to happen, or what the outcome of the next 15 to 20 years will be if he gets the illegals off the census, if he gets rid of mail-in voting, and if he abolishes the IRS? Can you just wrap your head around that?
I don't think that abolishing the IRS will happen in Trump's presidency. However, if he continues this with tariffs, I can see him getting past that. If you're single, making $150,000 or less, there's no federal taxes. And if you're married, filing joint with children, that $300,000 or less, there's no federal income tax, because they're making up 50% of the IRS money through tariffs. I'm beginning to see that light, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to overpromise something, but if we can hit that $1 trillion tariff revenue, that is the magic number. I am telling you, from everyone on the inside, from everyone that I've talked to, that is the magic number. If they can bring in $1 trillion in tariff revenue, you're going to get that tax bracket that no longer has to pay federal income taxes. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it.